Welcome to the video section. We're going to talk about what's called the theme options panel or options panel, a common term within WordPress. And basically, it's just a set of features and options that control various areas of your website, such as layouts or fonts or colors, and things like that. So let me navigate to that section. We'll find the bottom left options panel. I want to say that I'm not going to cover every single option here because there's just so many of them for me to sit here and go over every one would be tough. However, I'm going to cover what I think is important. And after that, you can obviously come in here and play around because for the most part, it's really self-explanatory as to what these sections do. So right now in the general landing page for the options panel, and we'll see things like uploading your image. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. So if you create a new image for a new logo for yourself, this is where you would upload it. Your favicon, and that's, let me see if I can find something real quick. Let me grab this. I mean, you probably know what it is, but just in case you don't. Favicon is, see this little W right here in the left corner? That's a favicon. So that little icon you can get in the corner of your tab. So right now you don't have one, so that's why we're seeing this little square here. So that would have to be a 16 by 16 file, so you could upload it that way. Now we'll start getting to some other stuff. Your JavaScript code, tracking code, custom CSS. You're probably not going to mess with that. If you want to, mess with these things, then you're probably going to, hire me or somebody else who might be knowledgeable to do that. Okay. If you scroll down, you'll see your social links, and these are obviously these sections right here, and if you enter it, then they show up. So right now we don't see anything for Dribbble, so there's no Dribbble link, right? But if I put in a link, I should see the Dribbble icon show up. And there we go, there it is. So if you don't want it to show up, don't list it. If you do, add it. Pretty simple. We have breadcrumbs. You want them on, off, and a breadcrumb, if you don't know, is basically your trail. Where are you on the site? So right now I'm on the About Us page, but I can go back home by clicking that. That's your breadcrumb. All right. If you want how it separates, the symbol for separating in the word. So right now we have this little line. So right now that's what's separating your breadcrumbs. This little line. See those? But maybe I want colon. So I'll put a colon in there. Come back here and reset, and then now I have colons. So that's up to you what symbol, if you want a symbol to go in there. Okay, so pretty easy, self-explanatory. All right, let's see. These are basic settings. I didn't say basic settings. Pagination style, so whether it's numbers or not. So the bottom of a page, your blog, for instance. When you get to more posts, what's going to look like? Right now it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and etc. We can actually change this to next and previous. Okay, so these things are pretty, so again, like I said, you're going to hear me say it a lot, self-explanatory, self-explanatory. Do you want comments to show up on posts? Yes or no? Portfolio comments, your portfolio page, your regular page comments. So those will show up if you check these. Typography. This is pretty cool because you can actually come in here and choose the font you want. So this is the body font. Right now it's set at Droid Sans. So if we open this, we got a humongous list of different fonts we want to play with. We can choose the size of your font. Right now it's at 12. So if I can maybe just to show you, I'll put this at 18 so we can have a large, and look, you have a nice little preview of what it's going to look like right here. So if I drag this down to 10, nice and tiny. So I think it's at 12. So you can set that to what you want. Font style, normal, italic. So all these things related to font are really cool. A lot of different features. You can kind of come in here and play with some stuff. Your heading fonts, same thing. Your tags, as far as the size of the font. Your H1 font, it's your header font. So, for instance, we have H1, and let's see, right now it's 24. If I put this joker at, say, 60, 61, and then let me say this real quick. I'm not going to cover all H tags, but I want to show you what an H tag is in case you're not aware. So if you're making a post, you're making a page, and you want to give it a title, such as let's Charlie. Oh, let me make sure I'm in visual mode. I need to be in visual mode for this. My name is Charlie. And then down below that, you know, just like anything else, you're going to have your normal text, right? But you want this to be your title, your bold, your large title. Well, if I click the paragraph, I see heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I just set my heading 1, my H1 tag, to 50, whatever it was. You just saw me do that, right? So if I preview this, that's what it looks like. Humongous, giant. So that's what that section does. You can control each one of your heading tags, you know, H3, H4, and then when you're making your posts and you're making your pages and stuff, you can follow that uniform so they all look the same. So it's pretty neat and a pretty cool feature to adding some basically some control to your site as well as keeping it all fluid and you know, congruent. Let me come back to the options panel. Let's see, that was miscellaneous. Okay, we're in typography. I think that's all I want to really touch because it's kind of letting you know how that works. Imagery sizing, I would not mess with this. This is how things are sized. I wouldn't recommend you messing with that. Your footer settings, show footer widget column area. So right now I'm saying yes. So if I come to the site, I refresh, I have my footer area down here, right? So let's turn this off. Oh, there goes my footer. Now all I have is, you know, your copyright and a quick little couple links. Okay. So let's put this back on. You also have the layout right now. It's set for 2. I could change this thing to have actually 4 different widgets. And these widgets, by the way, are controlled under the widget section, which I think at this point I've already done a widget tutorial. I believe that I have. So if you watch that video, you'll see this will make more sense as far as widgets. Right now it's 2 columns. We have 4. If I refresh this, now I have 4. Here are my 4. Boom, boom, boom. So let's put it back to like it was. Pretty cool. So these are all listed under your general settings. You know, your portfolio, your layout, your blog posts. Just kind of follow along. I wouldn't play with everything. I mean, you know, some other things in here are just going to take some time, some practice. You just kind of be careful of messing something up. You know, like your continue button label, it says more. So if I'm on the blog, so the preview post is more, right? You know, maybe you want to say read more. I don't know. Read more. And then we got our read more. So everything is flexible as far as editing and stuff. So you just kind of want to look over these things and kind of check what everything does. And you know, like I said, kind of trial and error. But be careful what you're actually changing and updating. So layout builder, actually covered that in a previous tutorial. Your slider manager, that's your banner. I covered that in a previous tutorial as far as adding images and sliders and things like that to your home page. Same thing, you can find that on your blog slide, so the slider in your blog area, you know, adding a video, adding gallery, all that stuff's managed in here. Your sidebar manager, which is really cool, you can create sidebars. So on the home page, or excuse me, on the blog page, we have this sidebar. So this follows the blog sidebar. Maybe on the About Us page, I want a sidebar, but I don't want the blog one. So what I could do is, you know, About Us, sidebar, right? Add it, add sidebar. So we're set there, and then if I come to, where are we? Widget, excuse me, lost track for a second. And if I look at the bottom right, I'll see the About Us sidebar that I just made, and so I can start building out this sidebar. So for instance, let's just do real quick archives, because it doesn't take a whole lot. Archives. So now I got my About Us sidebar, I got links, and I got archives in it, right? So if I come to the, let's see, add a new page, sidebar test, blah, 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 whatever, right? With me so far? So now first I want to select my page layout. So let's do sidebar left. There it is. I got a sidebar on the left. You can see it. Then if I look on the sidebar section, I want to choose my sidebar. All right. So I'm going to choose About Us sidebar. Publish this sucker. View it. Boom. There we are. There's my little sidebar and then the stuff. So really, really cool what you can do with the sidebar, and it's in making multiple sidebars. Let me delete this. I forgot to reset the header 1 tag while looking at that page. So let me do that before I forget. Typography, where are we? Headings. I think this was at 24. Alright. Good to go. Pricing tables, I don't know that you're going to need that. I mean, that's for people setting up packages, like offering hosting and stuff. I mean, maybe you will. I don't know why you would do that. Installer you will not need. That's basically how we install this theme. You are not going to need that. Don't mess with it. And enter custom post name. You're not going to need that either. That's an advanced feature. All right, that'll do it for this one.